cool, and like everyone's got a story, right?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if most Smashers have some competitive history somewhere else in anything, you know, tennis.
Yeah.
Oh, Samus. Oh, yes. I love it. Sorry, Jmook. You're done, kid. We got a Samus on the screen.
So this matchup seems pretty rough.
It is quite rough. I don't think that it is the hardest for Samus. I find some other matchups to be slightly harder, but it is a very tough one.
would be like one of the really big ones.
I mean, this is where Duck and I differed a lot.
That's true,
I find Puff and Peach to be two of her hardest, whereas he finds like Falcon and Sheik to be two of the hardest. But what you'd want to do against Sheik is you have to avoid the grab. So you can't do anything like, right, anything that you're doing has to be pretty much guaranteed. Like those down smashes get eaten up, those dash attacks get eaten up. Everything has to be very carefully placed. Lots of patience required. But you can play outside of Sheik's range, and you have to go for a lot of nickel and dime damage. Probably getting like 7% at a time, 10% at a time. You have to win a lot of neutral exchanges. But then the moment you manage to get Sheik off the stage, that's your bread and butter. That's where you're getting like the KO or a ton of damage. And there are kill confirms off of grabs. So basically, you got to earn it the first like 60% until you can finally get Sheik off the stage or into a grab situation, and then it starts paying off. That's the goal. But you got to earn it, and it's a tough road, especially against someone like Jmook. Like Jmook covering everything so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually reminded so I noticed Zemi or Zemi, probably Zemi.
Yeah.
Was shaking his head at one point, and we're talking with Jmook, and he was talking about like, do we have to wear masks at this event? And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, okay, because you know, I kind of don't mind wearing a mask as a player. He's like, because I don't like showing when I'm like shaking my head. He's like, you know, it's not he's like, I try not to be kind of like visibly frustrated.
Yeah.
He's like, and like a mask helps with that.
Yeah.
Because I saw him like when he messed up a little bit, he went.
That's interesting.
A little bit of a shake.
Yeah, because the shake is not really like a diss to the opponent. It's more just internal, like maybe even like I messed this up.
Yeah.
But it could look that way.
Yeah.
Honestly, not even playing too bad. It's just that Jmook aside. Yeah, see, like things like that. Wave dash forward to go for a forward tilt, and Jmook, recognizing this, actually wave dashes in to shield it to be in range to grab. So it's like, it's these types of things that you have to catch on to as a Samus, and maybe instead of wave dashing forward with a forward tilt, or, you know, you could try it once, test it out, but then you start using missiles to give you some cover fire to, like, if he tries to wave dash in to stop this, he actually gets hit by the missile before getting the shield off.
Yeah.
And you have to add these layers to your game to start challenging Jmook's movement and the positioning he wants to get those grabs, which lead to like 30% on the Samus. That's another problem, is that Sheik is one of the top tiers that does extremely well against floaties, because she can grab all the floaties and get damage on all the floaties. The only one that she can't do it on so freely is Jigglypuff, which is why Sheik ends up struggling. It's like there's a risk, you know. Okay. Yeah, and just like that was a good attempt. I did enjoy it. You even see Jmook nodding, but Jmook is like has the reaction speed of like what is he, 21, 22?
23.
Jesus Christ. And he's still fast for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah, so reacting to the grab attempt.
Even the awareness there, eh? Yeah. Like knowing that, like, okay, if Randall's going to pop me off, I'll just grab ledge. Yeah. My opponent probably won't be ready for that interaction. Look at this movement.
Yeah, good up tilt, though. And part of what makes Samus's grabs work is that you have to threaten something that puts them in a situation where they would feel stupid not to shield. Then that's when you have to grab. And if you're just throwing it out in neutral against somebody like Jmook, it's just not going to fly.
And like, I guess one way to kind of cultivate that response is to like start shooting missiles, like
shoot missiles. Sometimes you want to just get in the range where the forward tilt will start striking, and then you mix up the timing where sometimes you don't throw the forward tilt and you wait a second, and then they try getting out of shield, and then you hit them, and then they're like, okay, I got to work on a delayed timing, so they hold the shield a little longer. You just start beating it into them little by little, and that's when the grabs start working. But until then, and you got to start calling out the rolls too, right? Because if Jmook feels like the roll is a safe option and it's working every time, then why wouldn't he do that instead of shielding? That's the game. That's the game with Samus. And if you play this character, it's a long road. A rewarding one, though. I mean, I personally like playing like that. Oh, there we go. Finally gets a grab.
One thing I've always wondered, so a lot of players in Melee talk a lot about, like, not thinking so much while playing. When you played, were you, like, actively kind of, like, sort of, like, was it, like, more feel, like, and thinking beforehand, or were you actually kind of, like, really thinking about what you're doing?
I'd go in with a game plan overall before going in, because this game is so fast, there simply isn't time to think about every situation. But I would note when I'd get caught for something, and it'd be something I'd log into my brain and then work from there. But there's just no time to constantly to be consciously thinking every second. But I tell everyone I do on the internet because it makes Samus players sound smarter. So there you go.
It all comes back to the propaganda.
I have to push the propaganda. Otherwise, Samus doesn't have propaganda. That she's just a boring character or something. That whatever people say. You gotta push. You gotta push the big brain narrative. Keep her fun.
It's an underspoken thing in the Smash community, but character propaganda.
Oh, it
matters a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, it matters.
If we could hire PR firms for our characters, like it takes you far.
That's what these players are to their characters. They don't realize it. They are PR firms. And when Spark ended up tryharding at a charity event to get first, the PR was disastrous.
It was terrible. We took a huge step back.
It's affecting him to this day, because Spark is actually a very sick player. He's flashy, but that one moment, PR disaster, PR nightmare.
It's true, man. They need like a team, like a political team. Like, you know, when they'll do like political analysis, they'll be like, you know, that one debate that they do where he wasn't able to answer. He wasn't able to answer this question.
George Bush's brother was like, please clap. Yeah, Jeb Bush. He's like, please clap. That was Spark's Jeb Bush moment.
Can you imagine that happening in Melee? Someone's like,
please.
Someone
please cheer for me.
Please clap.
Please clap. I won. Please clap. I think Spark could get away with that and be hella funny.
Yeah, it goes all the way around. Like anything that you can kind of play off, like that. That's cringe can also be hilarious.
Oh, you could definitely own everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like if you imagine Dewan goes, please clap, like we're laughing. We're laughing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like it's actually like it's an amazing bit. But
you know, one day Moki gave me a
look. We got some insight. We got some.
I love it.
Dropping knowledge.
Yeah, and you know he's probably giving props. He's dropping knowledge on what he was getting him with and what he could do differently. That's so cool. We'd love to see it.
You were gonna say one moment Moki.
Oh no, Moki hit me with a please clap moment, but not the same way, right?